committee or board.
So you gave them legal advice.
We were helping them set up as a nonprofit.
So you represented them. So you lied to Senator Grassley earlier when he explicitly asked you, did you do any legal work? And you said no. In fact, you served on a legal advisory board. That's your testimony now. Correct?
Senator, I served on this board.
On a legal advisory board, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you lied to Senator Grassley here under oath. What else have you lied about?
A judicial nominee enters the room expecting a standard hearing, but she's walking directly into a meticulously prepared trap. Senator Josh Hawley has the receipts, the dates, and the conflicting statements that are about to dismantle a legal career in real time. Watch carefully.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Campbell, I'm trying to understand your answers to this committee. Let's start with the workers' dignity question, because your truthfulness under oath is surely, I notice my friends across the way now are utterly uninterested in any organization you've been a part of. They're suddenly utterly uninterested in things you wrote in the past. They're utterly uninterested in who you give money to. That wasn't the case just a few years ago, but be that as it may, surely they're interested in your truthfulness. I have now counted, just as I've sat here today, 4 separate answers by you, all of them conflicting as to what exactly was your relationship with workers' dignity. So let's just get this nailed down. First of all, did you disclose your relationship with workers' dignity to this committee? Don't look at the chairman, look at me.
I'm not sure that I included that. I don't remember, Senator.
Oh, I think you do. The answer is no. You did not disclose it to this committee. Then you told Senator Grassley, I've never represented that group. Then you told Senator Lee, next, that you had indeed advised them, and that you'd advise them as a member of a legal advisory board. You said 10 years ago, right? Then you told Senator Cruz that in fact you told Senator Lee you'd advise them briefly. You told Senator Cruz actually you'd advise them for 3 years. Then you told Senator Durbin that it wasn't 10 years ago, it was 15 years ago. So what is it exactly? You didn't disclose your association with this radical group to the committee. You're currently listed now, your own bio lists you as a legal advisor to the Workers' Dignity Group from 2013 to the present. To the present. The Tennessee Bar Association cited your work with this group for your nomination. So what is the story? When did you start working for Workers' Dignity?
Senator, more than a decade ago, for 2 or 3 years, I served on a legal advisory committee or board.
So you gave them legal advice.
We were helping them set up as a nonprofit.
So you represented them. So you lied to Senator Grassley earlier when he explicitly asked you, did you do any legal work? And you said no. In fact, you served on a legal advisory board. That's your testimony now. Correct?
Senator, I served on this board.
On a legal advisory board, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you lied to Senator Grassley here under oath. What else have you lied about? Workers' Dignity has condemned Israel's ethnic cleansing of Palestine. They have said that Israel is engaged in ethnic cleansing. Do you agree with that?
No, Senator.
How can I believe you? You just lied under oath a moment ago to Senator Grassley. You've lied to us up and down on this committee.
This isn't just a disagreement over policy. It's a systematic exposure of a credibility collapse. When Hawley references lying up and down, he is highlighting the fundamental requirement of a federal judge: absolute candor. By catching the nominee in a circular contradiction regarding her legal advisory roles, Hawley isn't just attacking her past, he's arguing that her presence on the bench would be a direct threat to the integrity of the judiciary itself. If a nominee cannot be truthful during the
I mean, this is a serious problem, Ms. Campbell. I have to say, I've never seen a witness, never, in 5 years in this committee, sit here and lie to us and change the story person to person. Why are you doing it? What is it? Why are you afraid to tell the truth about workers' dignity? Why have you lied to this committee? Why didn't you disclose it? Why did you lie to Senator Grassley? Why have you changed your story every time you're asked?
Senator, I have not lied to you today. I've tried to represent my participation with this group.
What you've done is you've misrepresented your participation with this group. You apologize to Senator Cruz for any confusion. You've created the confusion deliberately. Deliberately. Let's talk about something else that you've created confusion for. The biggest political donation that you have ever made is to Odessa Kelly, this radical candidate who said that members of this committee are Satanists, who endorsed violence. Why did you give money to Odessa Kelly? Over $1,000. I mean, that's not nothing. That may be nothing to you. That's not nothing to most people. Why'd you give money, the most money you've ever given, to this person?
Senator, Miss Kelly lives in my neighborhood. She's one of my neighbors.
And you agreed with her views?
No, on those views that you've read, I don't agree with them.
Oh, I haven't read any of them. I'm just asking you. Do you agree with her views? I mean, you gave her more money than anybody else. Your governor, your state senator, your attorney general, you gave her the most.
I do not agree with all of her views, no, Senator.
Well, which ones do you agree with? Can you name one?
Senator, I know that she is my neighbor, and I'm a neighborly person.
Oh, I see. You're a neighborly person. Well, I tell you this. You have represented to this committee that you didn't know what Odessa Kelly said and the outrageous, frankly, outrageous things that she said and did. You said you didn't know anything about workers' dignity. You lied to us about your association with that group. You said you didn't know anything about the Tennessee, the Tennessee Immigrant Refugee Rights Coalition, who thanks you personally in their introduction. You said you didn't know anything about that. I mean, either all of these people are liars or you are, Ms. Campbell. It's one or the other. It's quite a pattern. Maybe they all are, but given what you've told us under oath today, I think the answer is you are. And for that reason, you are utterly unqualified to sit on the federal bench.
What we just witnessed was not a standard political exchange. It was the clinical dissection of a witness who believed her past associations could remain obscured by vague terminology. When Senator Hawley delivered the final verdict of utterly unqualified, he wasn't just speaking to the room. He was signaling a shift in how judicial nominees are being scrutinized in a hyper-polarized era. The gut punch reality here is that the neighborly defense, the idea that financial support and legal counsel are merely social gestures, fell completely flat against the backdrop of the radical rhetoric associated with those very same groups. But here is what nobody is asking. How did a nominee with such a documented trail of conflicting statements make it through the initial vetting process to begin with? Think about what this means if you are sitting on the other side of this. If you are a litigant in a courtroom and the person behind the bench has a history of misrepresenting their own associations under oath, the concept of blind justice evaporates. Why now? That is the question. The timing of these exposures suggests that the era of rubber stamp confirmations is over, replaced by a forensic deep dive into every donation and every board seat. Supporters of the nominee might argue that Hawley is engaging in guilt by association, weaponizing minor clerical or memory lapses to derail a qualified candidate for partisan gain. They see this as a performance designed for social media clips rather than a sincere inquiry into legal philosophy. On the other hand, critics argue that the law is built entirely on the foundation of the oath. If the oath is broken during the job interview, the candidate has effectively fired themselves. What both camps are missing entirely, however, is the long-term damage this does to the public's perception of the federal courts. When the confirmation process looks less like a legal review and more like a perjury trap, the institution itself loses its aura of neutrality. Historically, judicial hearings focused on stare decisis and constitutional interpretation. Today, they have become high-stakes character studies. This shift reflects a broader reality in Washington. Your private affiliations are now your public policy. If this is the analysis you are not finding anywhere else, you already know what to do. The stakes for the federal bench have never been higher, as these lifetime appointments will shape American life for decades after the senators in this room have retired. The exchange regarding Odessa Kelly and the Satanist comments adds a layer of cultural friction that transcends mere legal work. By moving from professional associations to personal financial contributions, Hawley forced the nominee to choose between her social circle and her professional aspirations. Her attempt to pivot to being a neighborly person was a tactical error that Hawley immediately exploited to paint a picture of willful ignorance or active deception. This story is not finished because the vote is yet to come, and the precedent set by this hearing